This is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update video for June 26th, 11 p.m. This is a late update because I will not be doing an update video in the morning. Here's the latest on Tropical Storm Alex. It is now onshore north of Belize City this evening by about 20 miles. It came ashore with 65 mile-per-hour winds and is now going to move across the Yucatan Peninsula, weaken down to tropical depression status, and then reemerge in the Bay of Campeche, where it should once again begin to re-strengthen. And would not surprise me, as I said before it became near the Yucatan Peninsula, that it could reach Category 1 status, and it almost did. And it would not surprise me if this became a major hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico as it heads towards Mexico, if it hits Mexico at all, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But you can see here on this loop we have a situation where we have a trough that's back in here, and I'll show you the surface map in just a minute. But this trough is going to start eroding this high-pressure ridge, and some of the models are indicating when it gets near Mexico over here, it could find a weakness and kind of start heading to the north and do this kind of a track. And I'm not saying that's what's definitely going to happen, but quite a few models are starting to lean that direction, and that is a distinct possibility. Here is the leftover of 94L. It is wrapped around an upper level low out here. This is not going to develop at all. But Alex looks very good. Upper level support, outflow at all levels, and this is a really good, healthy system. If it was out over water, it'd be strengthening very rapidly, but it is now over land, and it'll reemerge in the Bay of Campeche, so we'll watch it closely. And here's our floater on the system. Weakening a little bit as it comes on shore here, which is expected, but again, a very well organized system, and this should ramp up again once it gets out into the Bay of Campeche tomorrow night. Here is the herd track program, and let's go ahead and start the animation on this, and you can see that the system weakens over the Yucatan, and tomorrow night it reemerges back over the Bay of Campeche, and then the system begins to blow up again in the Bay of Campeche, regaining tropical storm status on Monday, and then by Tuesday it becomes a hurricane, and Category 1 hurricane. I still think this could get stronger than that with warm sea surface temperatures and upper level support, and it comes ashore just north of Tampico, Mexico. So we'll see if that happens. Now the European model has this going in very far south here, and the other models are taking it close and then starting to turn to the north. So it's going to be an interesting battle here over the next few days with the models to see which one ends up panning out in the end here. Alright, here is the forecast cone of error from the National Hurricane Center. And again, the landfall is expected to be around Tampico, but there's a large cone of error as would be expected. Anywhere from down here where the European model thinks it might be, all the way up here to where several other models are indicating it might make landfall in the South Texas area. And this cone may shift to the right here over the next 24 hours if the model trends continue. And here are the models. The GFDL model, Category 2 hurricane near Freeport, Texas. Canadian model down here near Corpus Christi. And the other ones keep it swirling around here down east of Mexico. So even though the models have consolidated over the last 24 hours to exclude Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama and Florida, there's still some uncertainty down the road. This could stall out and head back north again. And again, they're working out there on the oil spill situation, and these vessels will have to leave if the winds get up to gale force, and the platform and everything will be able to move. They only move, some of the platforms only move about 5 or 10 miles an hour, so it'll take them a while to get out of there, but they do plan on moving out in the event that the system turns north in the Gulf of Mexico. I just wanted to show you this image. This is a water vapor image of the East Atlantic, and here's Africa. Look at this big old wave coming out here. This is going to emerge out in the East Atlantic here in about 2 days, and this is going to be one to watch. This is a really large tropical wave, and this could go ahead and develop. And here's the surface map from the National Weather Service, and here's it kind of shows you where our troughs are out here. We have a trough of low pressure down here, 1,007 millibars, and this is what's going to move off to the northeast and erode that ridge a little bit and allow potentially Alex to turn north here. That still remains to be seen, but the National Hurricane Center is not buying that. They're more or less buying the European solution of taking this in somewhere around Tampico or south. But that trough is heading across, and that very well could weaken that ridge, so it's not etched in stone that this is heading into Mexico just yet. Here is the steering flow in the very high levels of the atmosphere, and you know, we talk about this on the tropical updates. The stronger a system is, the more it's apt to be pulled north, and then the weaker it is, the more south it's going to go. And I guess the thinking is, especially with the Euro, is that it's going to keep the system weak, which would send it more to the west toward Mexico. But looking at the flow around this high pressure up in the upper atmosphere over Florida here in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, if this were a strong system, it has its weakness right here, and it would head towards the Louisiana-Texas border. But it's going to be a weak system for the next 48 hours, so it should continue off to the west and west-northwest and not turn north, but that could change down the road. And here is the wind shear map from AccuWeather, and this is showing the blue areas are favorable going out 5 days from now for upper level winds. So it's going to be very favorable in the Gulf of Mexico, along with very warm sea surface temperatures, and this could spell trouble for a potential for a strong system if it does not make landfall too quickly. All right, here's Tropical Atlantic site, and all the models are lined up here on the left, on the right. And we have the BAM model showing here because this has been the most accurate model so far on Alex/93L. Over the past 5 days, it's had an error of about 150 miles, so that's better than all the other mainstream models. However, that's excluding the European model. The European model has done very well. The European model had it coming in like this and basically heading in this general direction, and then it kind of shifted south over the last 48 hours. But all the other models have been pretty erratic. They haven't been really consistent, but the BAM model's been pretty good of all these models. Now, I took all the models on the right here of showing which models made landfall, and that's a total of 55 models that actually make landfall with this system. Out of the 55, 51 of them make landfall west of Louisiana over here, and that's about 92.7% of the models have it making landfall west of Louisiana. Only 7% have it coming east of the Louisiana-Texas border, and that's dropped from this afternoon. So the trend continues to be west-west-west, but again, this BAM model cannot be ignored, as well as the GFDL and some of the other models continue to want to take it long range up towards the Texas-Louisiana border, which could have implications for the oil spill. Well, that's it for now. Again, check back on HurricaneCity.tv for the latest on Alex and the oil spill. And we'll be back tomorrow night with another update tomorrow afternoon on the latest on Alex. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.